All right, so in part two, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're actually going to get into and start talking about some of these strategies. So, this first batch is probably my favorite batch because it's basically things that take little or no extra time. Love it. So, these are strategies that are actually pretty powerful, really. But once you learn it, once you incorporate it, it probably will take some time once you first start incorporating it, or at least wrapping your head around it and deciding if you like it or not. That will take some time and energy, but after that, very little effort on your part. So, what's the first strategy we'll talk about? The first strategy we're going to talk about is don't grade everything, right? I mean, that's going to be that's a big one. Like what? You had me at don't grade? What? I love this. This is great. So yeah, you don't have to grade everything. That's the first one we're going to talk about. The second one we're going to talk about is ditching the zero, right? Getting rid of that zero so that the students don't get penalized quite so harshly if they have a missing assignment. The next one is using a 4-point scale, right? We instead of using that 100-point scale, using a 4-point scale, much more accurate, and also it has a little more meaning to it to students and parents and even teachers. So that's cool. And then the last one we'll talk about is removing participation or behavior from your grades, right? So you're not marking people down for being absent or late or tardy or getting in trouble or there's no citizenship, those kinds of grades. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be not grading everything. And I love starting there because who wants to grade less? Me. Now, as you go through these 4 different pieces, I want you to be thinking about the end game here. Which of these do you think you might use? Why do you want to use them? And most importantly, how are you going to deal with pushback? For each one of these, how are you going, if you do choose to do it in your classroom, how are you going to talk to parents about it? How are you going to talk to students about it? Maybe your administrator, other teachers. What are you going to have to deal with in that pushback? Because that is what I'm going to do your check for understanding at the end of this is going to be whether or not you can do the pushback for each one of these. All right, good luck. Let's talk about grading less. Whoop!